Welcome to the Wong class. Hello again. In this video, we will start actually building the game. So let's look here. Add a scene. Scenes are part of your game. And guys, please read what it says. I'm just skimming over, but please read. Typically, each different screen in your game is a scene. The main menu is a scene, the pause menu, and the levels are all scenes. Scenes contain objects. They are displayed on the screen. These objects can be put on the scene to create the levels. These objects are called instances. Okay, so similar to coding, we create objects out of classes. Okay. Scenes also contain the events that are run to animate the scene. In the project manager that is open on the left, click on the plus button under scenes right here. A new scene called new scene is added to the list. Click to open it. Wow. Okay. So my screen looks like that. Good. Create the player object. The player will be controlling a character that can jump and move on platforms. We're going to create this object. On the right, you can see a panel called Objects. Click on the plus button to add an object. A window will pop up displaying different types of objects you can choose from. Is that highlighted? Okay, let's keep reading. But yes, that looks correct. Different kind of objects provide specific features. For most of our objects, we will use a sprite object, which are animated objects that can be used for a lot of elements. So players, platforms, enemies, items. Okay. Palette sprite, text, particles emitter. Okay, so wow, that's quite a lot. Let's just do sprite. Click on sprite in the list. The new object is added to the scene, and the editor is open. The object is empty for now. Sprite objects are composed of animations, and each animation can contain one or more images. Let's add an animation. Click on the plus button. Alright, click on the plus button. The animation is added, but still empty with no images. To add an image, click on a plus in the blank thumbnail. Alright, I think that's the blank thumbnail. Okay, choose the image called P1 stand in a project folder. Oh, so platform tutorial is our project folder. So remember, their instructions were to get all the images in this folder, but I just kept it in this resource folder. So I'm going to go there, P1 stand. Alright. The image is added to the object. You can now close the editor by clicking the apply button, bottom right. And look, there it is. Put the object on the scene. To display the player in our level, we place it in the scene. Each object we add to the scene is called an instance of the object. Our player instance will be unique as we are going to have only one in our level. Well, yeah, it's kind of like Mario. We only control one Mario, so it's only one player instance. But other objects can have multiple instances living on the scene. Yeah, like all the Goombas you typically stomp on. To add an object, simply click on it on the list, select it and display it on a blue background. Okay. You can then click anywhere on the scene to add the instance of the object. Alright. What? Click on it on the list. You can then click anywhere on the scene. Right click. Add an instance. Okay, but they don't show that. Click. Oh, I can also drag. Okay, so there seems to be two ways to add. Click, right click, add instance, or click and drag. Here's my little Martian guy, I think. Give the object a proper name. To make it easier to refer to our object, give it a name rather than using the default name. Right click on it and choose rename. Oh, right here. So not this guy. Right click on here and choose rename, or click on a dot icon. Same thing. You can then type player. So let's delete new object and type player. And click anywhere on the screen or press enter. Enter. Alright, there we go. So if I zoom, maximize this, our new thing is called player. Alright, add platforms. The level is still empty for now without any platforms. Let's add some. Create a new object by clicking on the plus button in the objects list. Objects, plus. This time choose tiled sprite when asked for the type of object. Right here. The object editor is opened. It's a bit different compared to the editor sprite object, as tiled sprites objects are not animated. Okay, so tiled sprite objects cannot be animated. Click on select an image. Oh, and yeah, I don't see the animation option here. Click on select an image, and then on choose a new image. Oh. This time choose the image grass half mid. Okay. Close the editor by clicking on the apply button. Well, let's look here first. Their thing does not look like ours, or mine at least. And the reason is, remember, their art assets are inside the game folder. My art assets are inside another folder, the resource folder, that is inside the game folder. So this is the file path to get to this image. Alright, close editor by clicking on apply. Click on an object on the list to select it, and click on a scene, so click and dragging. Oh, whoops. Click and drag. There we go. To place on the level. Objects added to the scene, but very tiny. Click on it and use the handles to resize it so it looks like a platform. Okay. Also, don't forget to rename the object to be called grass platform. Alright, how do I rename? Well, I can click the ... Rename. Let's rename it grass platform. Time to save. Let's not lose what we've done so far. An application file, click on save. Or press Ctrl S. So I've saved it. Awesome. Let's keep going. Add behaviors to objects. The player. The movement of the player could be created using the events of GDevelop, but it would be quite long and difficult task to recreate a good platformer engine. Luckily, it already comes with a complete platformer engine built in. For this, we need to use the platformer behaviors, which allows us to access and use the built-in platformer engine. Open the player object, edit object, switch to behaviors tab up here. Click on the plus button to add a behavior. Click to add a behavior. Choose platformer character. Wow, there's a lot. Should take a look at this later. Play around with it. See the behavior in editor with a lot of parameters that I can tweak. Yep, lots of parameters. You can change some properties like jump speed. Set it, for example, to 800 so the jump is more powerful. Okay, let's look for jump speed, change it to 800. And doesn't say to, but let's click apply. Alright, I can't really control anything right now, so we're just gonna have to take it for granted. Platforms. We also need to set objects to be platforms so the player can walk and jump on them. Otherwise, the player will fall through the object as we didn't tell to our character. That's language right there. Otherwise, the player will fall through the object as we didn't tell our character. Okay, there shouldn't be a 2. Our character what to do when they land on it. By setting an object to be a platform, the platform character will collide with it and be able to walk on it because it's a platform. Duh. Okay. To set the grass platform object to be a platform, open the grass platform object editor. All right, so remember how we open up this guy's editor? Can we do the same thing? Try to do it on your own right now. If you need help, scroll back up here where we get to this editor. Alright, so if we forgot, we can, to open the editor, we right click, edit object. Now let's go back. So we open the editor, switch to behaviors just like we did before, then add a behavior. So I'm going to click this again, choose the platform behavior. Oh, that's really fast. Let me do it slower. Platform that platformer characters can run on. Okay. There are a few options that you can change. For example, the option can grab platform ledges is there to allow the platformer character to grab the edge. If we enable it right now, the result will look strange. Let's keep it unchecked for now. Okay. Unchecked, apply. Start a preview. You should be able to touch the game by pressing the preview button at the top of the screen toolbar. This big thing. Yay, I found it. You did it. You did it. You did it. Hooray. Alright. When you press the button, a preview is generated, and just after a new window is open. You should be able to walk and jump around using default keys, move using space or arrow keys, and press shift or space to jump. Add a few other platforms to the scene as we did before. Make sure you added a behavior to the platforms to avoid the character falling through. Alright. I press play. It's loading. It pulls up on my other monitor. Here we go. Oh wow. It's doing a Michael Jackson moonwalk. Okay. Oh. Oof. Nope. Let's try that again. So we see that we can walk on a platform. Left, right. I can't crouch. I can't go up. I can jump. That's spacebar shift. Oh, shift also works. Oh. Oh, whoops. Accidentally sticky keys. Okay, let's not do that. Let's stick with spacebar. Alright. We got it. Good. Checkpoint. Let's keep going. For now, the object has no animations. We'll add some later. Good. Gray background is a bit boring. Later we can add an image, but for now let's keep things simple. Right click on a gray background and click Scene Properties. In a new window that open, click on Scene Background Color. Oh, it's right there. Select a nice color for the background. They went for that blue, so. In class, we've done color selecting already. If you have a favorite color, feel free to choose it. I personally like what I call a bluish greenish gray. Something like that. Alright. Well, it doesn't say to change any of that. Window title. I'm not sure what that is. Let's keep it. Let's not do anything for now. Oof, bad color. I can barely see my sprite. Let's keep it similar to theirs for now. A little better. Okay, I kind of see him. Alright. Next up, animate the player. Alright. So we can move, we can jump, and we can walk on the platform. Let's go to the next part. How to make a platform game. Adding animations. Add animations. At the moment, the player is always displaying the same standing animation, but we're going to change that. Alright, let's, yeah, we saw that earlier, right? All he does is, he's just standing, moonwalking. So let's make the background gray, grayish. Grayish blue. There we go. We're going to change that using events. But first, we need to add appropriate animations to the player object. Jumping animation. Open the editor of the player object. Alright, if you forgot, remember, 3 stacked buttons, or right click it. I'm on the properties tab. Click on a plus button on the bottom of the window to add an animation. So on the bottom of the window to add an animation. So there's a plus button, here's a plus button. Which one? Maybe this one that says click to add an animation. Add an animation. Okay. I'm going to click on a thumbnail with a plus sign of the new animation. Choose P1 jump. P1 jump. Alright. Similar animations can be given names. It's an easy way to differentiate. Alright, name this idle. Name this jumping. Oh, jumping. Alright, and we're going to add another animation, same way, so remember, click to add an animation, and this time we're going to add 5 images, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, you could do it like this. Let's choose number 4. Or what we could do, let's delete that, add it again, is highlight all of them, click, hold shift, click, and do all of them at once. Finally, set the name to running. These images will be displayed so as to create the animation. You need to tweak a bit. Click on don't loop to switch this option to loop. Which one? Which one do I click don't loop? I assume this one because that's the one we just finished. So now we're looping. This will make the animation restart when the end is reached. The timer is displaying the time in seconds between each image. This is the speed of the animation. Enter 0.05 instead of 1. It doesn't say 1, but 0.05. Or you just type it. Alright, it's ready, click apply. Let's see it. I should probably save. I haven't saved in a long time. Try it. Still not working. Huh. Save. Oh, because I don't change animations right now. It's still on the standing one. Change animation. Use events. Visual programming. Learn very quickly. Okay. Open the events editor of a scene by clicking on the tab called New Scene Events. Alright, let's look for the words New Scene Events. Do you see it? There we go. For now it is empty. Add the first event by clicking on the Add Event button in the top toolbar. What picture looks like this one? Is it this one? This one? Or this one? It's this one. Add a new empty event. Click it and we see add condition, add action. So for now it's empty. In this first event we're going to check if the player is jumping and change animation accordingly. So this is like an if statement, guys. If the player is jumping, then change the animation. So click on add condition. In the new window, you can see the conditions available to make your game. We want to check if the player object is jumping. Open the category called platform behavior. Here we go, I found it. And then click is jumping. Alright. The right part of the window displays the parameters that are needed. Well, what are we checking if, what object are we checking? We are checking the player object, of course. And then this is behavior's platformer object. Second is automatically filled. It's ready, click on OK in the bottom right corner. And now we see it's added to the event. Now let's add the action to change the player animation when the character is jumping. Click on Add Action. The window open is similar, but now displaying all the actions available. So before it displayed conditions. This one displays actions. We're going to change animation player, which is a sprite object. Open a sprite category. Then animations. Finally choose change the animation. Okay, so careful guys, there's two. Change the animation and change the animation by name. This one is change the animation by name. Alright, let's choose the player. And what do we want to change? Well, if our character is jumping, what animation do we want to show? And remember guys, we gave it a name. Jumping, right? So select the player object for the first and write jumping in the second field. So let's write jumping. And beware, you have to write the double quotes as any text. So let's put it in double quotes. Make sure it looks similar to theirs. When it's done, click OK. And it looks the same. And let's click play. Okay, I'm going to save first. Control S. Play. Hey. Oh. What the heck? It's stuck in the jumping position. I don't want that either. Let's see. But when the player is back on the floor, you can see that the animation is not set back to idle. Oh, okay, because we just told it to change jumping. We never told it to change back if it's on the floor. So we need another event. Add a new blank event. So remember, this is how you add an event. Click on Add Condition. This time select the condition is on floor inside the platform behavior category. So remember, we can look for platform behavior, and we look for is on floor. What object are we checking? Well, we're checking the player object, if the player is on the floor. Click OK. Alright, so let's keep reading. Oh, we can also use the search box on top to quickly find the condition when you know its name. Good to know. Alright. Good opportunity to make our character displaying not only the idle and jumping, but also the running. We could add two events with two conditions and action in each event. Instead, we can use sub-events to only have the condition checking if the player is on the ground one time. So, select the event that we created by clicking on the empty area near Add Condition or Add Action. So, right here. Then click twice on a button to add a sub-event. Add sub-event. 1, 2. Two child events are added under event, which is considered the parent event now. So this event is the parent of these two kids, these two children. You can now add conditions inside these events. For the first, add a condition to check if the player is running. So, I don't know how to find if the player is running. Let's try searching for it. Running, no. Well, they put moving, so I guess running is a type of movement. Is moving. What object am I checking? Player. Second one, add the same condition but check the invert condition toggle. Alright, so I'm going to search moving. It's also in platform behavior. Check invert condition. This way the action set event will be launched when the player object is not moving. So basically think of invert condition as a not. So check if the object is moving. If we invert it, it is check if the object is not moving. And we see the red, what do you call that? A reverse and una, the red reverse. So we check, does it look similar? Yes. Awesome, we're almost done. Let's add the required actions to each event. Use the first event to set the animation of the character to running. Alright, so which one do we want to set to running? Use the first event. Well, this is when our player is running. So I'm going to add action. Do you remember how to get to animation? You can go to sprite, animation, images. Remember, we want to change the animation by name. Player object and running. Now, don't do that because remember, you need to put double quotes. It's a string. Now, let's do a not moving one. Let's say I forgot it's in sprite. Well, if I know what it's called, I spelled animation wrong. Can't find it. Animation. Change the animation by name. Oh, that's strange. This is set animation, this is change. So I'm going to change it to idle if it's not moving. Time to preview and save. So let's preview. And I'm running. Wow, look at that guy go. Alright. Save it. Control S. Small improvement we can do is set the animation to jumping when the player is falling too. Otherwise, the running animation keeps playing when the player reaches the end of a platform. Huh? Let me see that. So if I just run off the platform, does it just show running? Oh yeah, it does. Alright, so if the player is falling, we also want it to show the jumping. So, use this opportunity to test if you remember how to add an event, how to add a condition, how to search for conditions, how to add an action. So we want it to look like this. Go ahead, try it on your own. If you need help, feel free to watch me do it. Alright, so I'm going to click out. I'm going to click add event. So notice when I click that, it went here. I can hold and drag it. I'm just going to make mine look exactly like theirs. Add a condition. So last time it was platform behavior, but we can look for falling right here. We want to check if our player is falling. And if our player is falling, what do we want to do? Change the animation, or I can go to sprite. I want to make the animation jumping. And let's see. Oh, that didn't really test it. Let's try it again. Last time I was just running off screen. So I should test that. Yeah. Looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and make some more platforms. Remember, I can just click and drag. Click. Drag. Alright. Let's test it. Yay. Awesome. Well, that concludes this video. In the next video, we'll finish up pages 3, 4, and 5 of the tutorial. See you then.